Do you have questions? When I will be? How long? Where will my life change? Check yourself. Is your life changing or not? Are you moving into calmness or not? Why are you in a hurry? When I will be, you have that question. I know that. How long? Where? So the real self is here and now. Why you are asking a question where? That comes from ignorance. How long? You are already there. Why are you asking the question, how long? Are you not here? Think of this. We are going deeper in every session. Where it is within myself. It is already there. I don't have any money in the bank account and I have to bring the money from outside and put it in the bank. It is not that the real self should be brought from outside and put it in and I have a tent. Where it is? How long? When the mind is asking these questions, you build a very subtle ego that wails, that stops. These questions, when they come, you should know what to do. Don't you see that you are gradually and progressively moving into calmness, peace? And sometime when the mind challenges you, you remember the principle and the mind goes into calmness. You're making a journey. So, what happens? You continue the journey one day, at any time, in any activity, with anyone. You discover that, oh, I'm already there. You find that you are a new person. You will discover, you will enjoy and experience that you have become global, cosmic, because consciousness is cosmic. So the master guide says, I'm not saying anything, I'm just teaching from these teachers, So I'm free because I'm teaching from the teachings. So you just, the message is just continue this sadhana, aspire to live in the real self before, during, and after every action. So do you remember the goal are twofold? One goal is to end of suffering. What is suffering? Insecurity, dissatisfaction, unhappiness. Now add everything in the word insecurity, fear of death, unnecessary. So I don't know what is death and I have a fear of death. Terry? So you see, it includes anxiety, hesitation, anger, duality, conflict. Second goal is the realization that peace, happiness, love, and wisdom are my essential nature. I am all of them. Essential nature, do you remember? Sweetness of a sugar? Now, who remembers you told us a lot of principles? I'm busy. If you are busy, Then why you are in a session? And you are busy for what? You are busy to remove the insecurity, dissatisfaction, unhappiness. You have tried days, weeks, months, years, no result. Tell the mind, don't do that. So just think in that way. There was a dialogue between the real self and the mind. Pay attention. Mind says, let me help you become free from insecurity, fear, and anxiety. And the real self says, what the heck, I'm ever free. I'm ever pure. I'm beyond security and insecurity. I'm always secure. Mind says, I will do whatever you want me to do. Then the real self says, do one thing, is do nothing. I have seen you. You have done everything since birth and nothing happened. It's a dialogue between mind and the real self. Whose mind? My mind. My mind doesn't control you. It's your mind. Just you have to become aware. It only demands that level of awareness. Even though you are expressing through the mind, so one mind becomes the real self and one mind is the current state of the mind. Continue the dialogue between the mind one acting as a real self, mind two, it's already making us crazy. It's all a matter of awareness. Nothing else is required. So, in order to settle this knowledge in the mind, we need to understand what is not real self. So that, the mind one and two can continue the dialogue. So, we are none of the three bodies. We are not the five sheep we have been discussing together. So means the real self is beyond the neighbor on this side, beyond that neighbor on that side, beyond the neighbor on the back and in the front. So when the mind consciously understands and lives in that state of awareness that knows I am not the three bodies, I am not the five sheep, this mind can reach to the state of emptiness here and now. It is not required that you need to continue this for so long. So you experience that state of emptiness and that emptiness continues. You don't make an effort. It continues because you have discovered that when I am none of the three bodies, when I am not the five sheets, then mind, why you are running, why you are crazy, why you are so busy. Getting it? Say yes, even if you don't get it, no problem. Uh, no, slowly it happens. So when we are none of these five sheets or the three bodies, they are the object. It is seen to me, it is experienced, it is an object of knowledge, it is subject to change. And what is subject to change has a birth and death. I do not have a birth and death. anything that is subject to change by the unconscious operation of the nature. I'm not that. How simple? Continue the dialogue between the real self and the pseudo or the false self that claims I'm. Mind claims, mind forces us to claim that I am the three bodies, I am the five sheet. That causes the ignorance in the mind, and that leads to insecurity, dissatisfaction, unhappiness. Three words I'm using, so in which you can add fear, anxiety, duality, conflict, fully busy. Huh? Long list. So I want to continue talking. Do you like my talking? Very good. So even if you like, if you don't like, now you have attended the session. It is an etiquette that you should continue. You see how mind catches you. It is your mind is saying. I'm not saying anything. Where is the smile, Terry? Yes, that is good. So this is a story from one of the great texts. It's a dialogue between the father and the son. You see, in Eastern wisdom, the age, gender, relationship do not matter. Sometimes we have seen that your wife can become your guru, your husband can become your guru, your son can become your guru, your friend can become your guru. When they become your guru, when you are a seeker. If you are not a seeker, nothing happens. But anyhow, so the son's name is Bhrigu, and the master, enlightened master, was Varun. It's a very interesting story that gives you an understanding of these five sheets. Briefly, because if I go on talking on five sheets, it will take a year. So I'm bringing an end to it. Why I'm bringing an end? Because you feel bored. Every time you are talking of five sheets. Are you not feeling bored? That's Brandy, only Brandy said no. You see that? Well, these sessions are, just pick up the main principles, talk about it, and then you contemplate and reflect so that uh, we progress. So the Bhrigu was a student, son, and the father was enlightened, father was Varun. So, because the conversation of enlightenment and awakening and peace and happiness used to take place in his family, so son said, "What is the heck? How can I get it?" So, it's very difficult for the father to teach the son because as the son grows, they say, "Oh, dad, you are belong to the old school." So, father sent him to another master, and he spent 10 years, learned everything intellectually, returned, and the father asked, "What is the ultimate truth in you?" Pay attention. What is the ultimate truth in you? So, even after learning for 10 years, the son thought for some time and said, "I'm sorry, dad. There is only a one word difference between dad and dead." Anyhow, so the son thought of some time and said, "I'm sorry, dad. My My guru never taught me that what is the ultimate truth in me. I heard about the real self, but I don't know. Father said, you wasted 10 years if you are unable to answer what is the real self. Ashok? Ah, yes. Your education is not complete at all. Go back. Do austerity. And what is that austerity? 2LCRP, listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, practice. So the son agreed and he went into the Himalayas and doing the austerity into the forest. So, but he was following because now he retrieved what he has heard and what he has learned. What he has learned. He returned after a year and said, look at dad, I got it. That is what happens out of excitement, the children say, I got it, I'm more intelligent than you. Normally it happens in every family in the young age, later on when, Father, my physical body is the ultimate truth. The first sheet is Annamaya. If the physical body, this body is working fine, anything and everything is possible. I can make a six pack, I can show the people that how smart I am. I will not be able to do anything with the sick body. It's a fact. The father is highly disappointed. Dad is highly disappointed with the answer and shown his frustration. Do you see the journey of his life of a seeker? The son Bhragu was not frustrated. He said, oh, is that so? I didn't find it. Let me go back. Let me go back and contemplate and reflect. Let me do my meditation practice. Now he realized that he is not the first sheet, the outermost first sheet. So he started observing that any change in the body happens due to the energy, and that energy is prana. I cannot speak because speech, energy, sound, energy, physical energy. You see that? You find where there is a change, there is energy. Even your listening energy, speech energy, movement energy. We even say that prana is present in the gravitational force. That is why it is a force. Prana is present in the electrical energy. So he returned and he said, Dad, not dead. Dad, I was completely wrong. What can I do with only a physical body? I need a life in it. Pay attention. I need a fuel in it. So as a seeker, his mind is going inside. There has to be the flow of the prana, the life energy in all these channels of the body. It is the pranamaya kosha, the energy sheet, which is important. Father said, I don't feel you can ever achieve that. He is still frustrated. Son, go back. Why he said go back? Energy itself is not conscious. Who directs that energy? Did you understand? Who directs? You have all the switch and plugs, unless you push it on, then only I see the light. So there must be someone consciously doing it, taking over the prana. What is the ultimate truth? That was the question asked. Frustrated. He went back again. What is the goal of a seeker? You are a seeker, you have to check yourself. Yes, we all are seekers. So he returned again after a year or a couple of years. Dad, I was wrong. It is neither the physical body, it is neither the energy body that is important. It is the proper mental status that I always need. It is the mind that desires. It is the mind that propels the energy to move, to manifest in the body. You see, my hands, my eyes, you're listening, everything because of that mind. So he said, I have to be mentally fit. This is what we are doing it in the modern life. My mind should be trained. I should be a sane person. It is the mental sheath. And Dad was disappointed again. Son, it's a time you bring me the right answer now. Don't you think you are disappointing me? Once again, the son went. It's a symbolic, he went to the forest, means listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, and practice. We don't have enough forest left even in US or India, where you can go and do the planning. A lot of climate change, etc. So that forest is symbolic. Himalayan is symbolic. Buddha never went to the Himalayas. So, son sad, returned again to the so-called the forest, did all the contemplation and practice. So he realized that mind constantly has millions of thoughts. If some agency or power picks up a particular thought, that triggers me to act. What is that? Intellect, intellectual sheet, I-ness. He returned again. You are all enlightened, you know the answer. Fourth sheet, intellectual sheet. I must have the knowledge. Son said to the dad, I must have the knowledge. It is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the intellectual sheet. Am I right, my dear dad? Sometimes there is a slip of tongue, dad becomes dead. So Bhragu, the son, no. Father said no. It's highly disappointing to have wrong answers after giving you 4 chances, my child. Forget it. The answer might come your way one day. What I'm saying, answer might come your way one day. Just wait for it. Son said, no, father, give me one last chance. I want the answer as much as you want. See the intensity of a seeker. We get unnecessarily upset. Life of a seeker is totally different. So now the son went back to the forest. He spent 10 years. I've already told you, going to the forest means what? Father had to wait for a long time, 1 year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year. After all, he is a father. He was, oh, my son is taking too much of time than the father ever expected. He went to the forest, found the son is sitting like a Buddha. So father had a huge mixture of emotions. He was overjoyed, surprised. You see, you need not to ask whether I found real self. He was overjoyed, surprised, pleased, proud, lost, and all at the same time. He saw his son sitting in lotus pose, absorbed into meditation. He could find that calmness oozing out from his face. There are 70 indications. One of the major indications that if you you are in a meditation and your eyeballs are not moving, it is withdrawn inside. You may try, it will not happen. It only happens to the seeker. So sometimes I check those things, going closely to my monitor. So he checked it. He had tears in his eyes. What he did? He bowed down to his own son with a complete reverence and returned back home. He has nothing to ask, son, go back home. Because he is also awakened. Father was awakened, so the son is awakened. That is the journey of the self-discovery. That is why I said, Yeah, let me add one more point today. So if the mind is asking why we are ignorant, so the answer comes that individual causal body is tiny and a fraction of the entire illusion, which is known as Maya. It contains a tiny bit of knowledge, not all the knowledge. It has a mixture. It is incomplete knowledge of the self. And that is what we are learning, to move from the incomplete knowledge to the complete knowledge. From avidya to vidya, from ignorance to wisdom. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Ignorance means I have a limited perception of the things, people in the world outside and inside me. So where lies the problem? The problem is locus of the problem. Locus of ignorance is the mind. So where we have to find the solution? Same locus. Are you getting it? Say yes. If you want to know the physics, if you want to know about physics, so locus is the knowledge of physics. You want to know the physics and you are studying chemistry, it will not work. Do you see that? You want to drive a car and you started learning how to operate the phone, it will not work. So what is the locus? Locus of ignorance, not knowing my real self, is the mind. So where I have to put the knowledge of the real self to get rid of the ignorance. That is why we are learning. We are not the 5 Tiwaris. We are not the 5 sheikhs, like the sun. I'm not disappointed. No, why should I be disappointed? You should be disappointed. And let your disappointment raise the level of your awareness, put you to the commitment and sincerity to find the real self. Am I right? Yes. Close your eyes.